But I know for sure, that Rock Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick during the time that he was really in traction with Jay Z. For sure. This is after the Rock Nation NFL deal has been announced.
Also, what he did to Colin was absolutely wrong.
Selfish.
Jay Z's performance at Yankee Stadium may have been one of his most revealing moments in years, and many people believe it reflected a sense of panic. During his freestyle, he took aim at Twitter activists who have labeled him a sellout and suggested that public frustration should be directed at Colin Kaepernick instead. However, Colin's wife, Nessa Jay Z, wasn't willing to let those comments slide. While a response like this might have been better received a few years ago, many viewers feel Jay Z misjudged the current public mood. Instead of winning people over, his remarks sparked criticism, with Nessa pushing back and challenging his perspective in a very public way.
Nah, Jay Z, that freestyle wasn't it, bro. That wasn't the one, bro. Just stop it. Now the Roots Picnic freestyle was that was better than this one. But this one, I'm starting to see what you're doing. You starting to notice that, because you brought up Twitter activists. You starting to notice that people ain't receiving you like they once received you, and you can't pay radio programs and certain shit to manipulate the masses.
Jay Z has been enjoying a wave of renewed attention as the 30th anniversary of his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, is celebrated. After spending years largely avoiding public responses to criticism, he returned to the stage as the headliner at the Roots Picnic. Although he previously claimed he had no interest in participating in rap feuds, his performance suggested otherwise. During his set, he delivered several pointed bars aimed at people widely believed to be his critics and rivals. Among the names fans believed he referenced were Drake and Nicki Minaj. In one of the most talked about moments, Jay rapped, "That lady back on the stuff. She sounds like she in love with him. Her Ken can't even pick they kids. Enough of them. A rapper can't be my op. I got MAGA Republicans. Them shots came from the very top government. Good luck with them." The lyrics immediately sparked debate online, with many listeners trying to decode exactly who and what he was referring to. Jay also appeared to reference attorney Tony Busby, who previously filed a federal lawsuit on behalf of a Jane Doe accusing both Jay Z and Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault in 2000. Jay has consistently denied the allegations, and the lawsuit was one of the rare legal matters he publicly addressed. During his performance, he rapped, "Hattie's turning 100. If she had transitioned before I cleared my name, I would have hunted them. Everyone is playing these silly games. That 1 to 800 ambulance chaser would have wished one came, but 911 is a joke. Public enemy number 1, I've been ranked. Asterisk.
I'm a target. You ain't, don't miss that target. No exclusive, they only doing what Apple and Walmart did. You shopping at Amazon or you boycott? You posting on Instagram? That's Meta, boy, stop it. Y'all know Google owns YouTube. You picking and choosing and politicking as usual.
He said Jay Z said he doesn't pay attention to Twitter activists and insisted that he's someone who can't be controlled. He also criticized the Black community for what he described as selective outrage. According to Jay, people condemned him over his business relationship with Target while continuing to support companies like Amazon and actively using platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. However, many listeners felt he lost the point when he began comparing his situation to Colin Kaepernick's. Jay claimed that Kaepernick accepted a large settlement from the NFL and agreed to a non-disparagement clause as part of the deal. He added that he couldn't even fault Colin for taking the money because the payout was substantial. Jay then contrasted that with his own record, arguing that he has never sold out and that his outspoken stance has made him a target. He also claimed to have invested roughly $500 million back into the community, suggesting that his contributions speak for themselves and arguing that Colin's impact doesn't compare in terms of measurable investment.
I ain't even mad at him, but along with that check, gotta sign a non-disparagement. I'm the one they can't control. Y'all better be glad it's him. Yeah. I'm the one they can't control. You better be glad it's him. $500 million back in the community. That's just good math for him.
Girl, this freestyle felt strange from the moment it happened because, honestly, no one was really asking Jay Z to respond to these criticisms in the first place. If anything, the performance gave the impression that he's paying very close attention to everything being said about him online. It suggested that he's reading the tweets, following the debates, and listening to every accusation. For someone who has built a reputation for staying silent and letting the conversation pass, this sudden need to respond surprised a lot of people. Instead of shutting down the criticism, many viewers felt the freestyle only fueled it. One person who has never been shy about criticizing Jay Z is Colin Kaepernick's longtime partner, Nessa Jay Z. She has spoken publicly in the past about what she believes was Jay's role in distancing himself from Colin's activism. According to Nessa and many supporters of Kaepernick, Jay initially praised Colin's protest against police brutality, but changed course after partnering with the NFL. Once that deal was announced, Jay famously suggested that the conversation had moved past kneeling and should instead focus on ownership and economic empowerment. Those comments sparked intense backlash because many people felt they dismissed the very protest that had put Colin's career on the line. Now, years later, Jay has once again brought Colin's name into the conversation, and Nessa doesn't appear interested in letting his version of events go unchallenged. During his freestyle, Jay suggested that Kaepernick accepted a large payment from the NFL and signed a non-disparagement clause, implying that Colin ultimately made peace with the league while continuing to criticize others. Critics quickly pushed back on that claim. They point out that Colin filed a grievance against the NFL, alleging that team owners had conspired to keep him out of the league following his protests during the national anthem. Rather than taking that dispute through a lengthy courtroom battle, both sides ultimately reached a confidential settlement. While reports have speculated about the size of that settlement, the exact amount has never been officially confirmed. Likewise, there has been no public evidence confirming that Kaepernick agreed to a non-disparagement clause as part of the settlement. Because of that, many people argued that Jay's lyrics presented speculation as fact. Supporters of Colin also note that he has continued speaking publicly about social justice issues long after settling his case with the NFL. Over the years, he has criticized the league, spoken out on racial inequality, funded community initiatives through his Know Your Rights camp, and continued supporting causes he believes in. To them, that record contradicts the suggestion that he was somehow paid to remain silent. The criticism doesn't stop there. Many people believe Jay Z benefited professionally from the controversy surrounding Kaepernick after Roc Nation entered into its partnership with the NFL, which included helping oversee the Super Bowl halftime show. Detractors argue that the timing created the appearance that Jay was willing to work with the very league many activists were still boycotting. Supporters, on the other hand, have argued that his partnership allowed him to create opportunities from within and invest in social justice initiatives alongside entertainment programming. The disagreement over that decision continues years later. Others have also revisited older controversies involving Jay Z's business ventures. Some critics point to the redevelopment surrounding Brooklyn's Barclays Center, arguing that longtime residents were negatively affected by the project and questioning whether Jay did enough to advocate for the surrounding community. Others continue to bring up his business relationship with Target, claiming it conflicted with efforts to pressure the retailer over concerns raised by activists at the time. Supporters argue those business decisions were more nuanced, while critics see them as examples of prioritizing corporate opportunities over community solidarity. Because of all of that history, many viewers believe Jay's latest freestyle wasn't simply about defending himself. They see it as an attempt to reshape the public conversation at a time when his reputation is facing renewed scrutiny. Over the past several months, online discussions have increasingly questioned his legacy, his business decisions, and his public image. Jay has also given interviews addressing some of the allegations and speculation surrounding his name, making it clear that he is aware of the growing criticism. Ironically, that's what stood out to many people the most. Jay Z has long cultivated the image of someone who doesn't respond to internet chatter or public opinion. Yet his recent performances and interviews suggest he is paying close attention to what people are saying. Whether that's because he wants to protect his legacy or simply set the record straight is open to interpretation, but the shift hasn't gone unnoticed. At the end of the day, opinions remain deeply divided. Some people believe Jay Z's decades of philanthropy, entrepreneurship, and contributions to music outweigh the criticism surrounding his business decisions. Others argue that his actions have too often conflicted with the image he has projected, leaving them skeptical of his motives. Regardless of where people stand, one thing is clear. The conversation around Jay Z isn't slowing down anytime soon, and every public statement he makes is now being analyzed more closely than ever. What do you think? Can Jay Z repair his public image, or has public opinion shifted too much for him to change the narrative? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update.